In this video, we're going to look at the May-June 2025 Social Studies Paper 2. Our first question is, state two functions of the family. Our answer is, the family provides love, care, and emotional support for its members, and the family provides socialization by teaching children values, manners, customs, discipline, and acceptable behavior. Our next question. Outline two factors that contribute to the changing roles of women in Caribbean families. Our answer is, one factor is increased access to education. More women are completing secondary and tertiary education, which allows them to qualify for professional jobs and become financially independent. As a result, women are no longer limited mainly to domestic duties in the home. Another factor is employment opportunities for women. Many women now work as teachers, nurses, business owners, police officers, managers, and professionals. This has changed family roles because women often share the role of breadwinner with men, while men may also assist more with childcare and household duties. Our next question is, state two actions that a government may take to reduce the trafficking of persons and explain why each one is successful. We have the government can strengthen border security and law enforcement by training police, immigration officers, and customs officers to identify and stop human trafficking. Our explanation: stronger border security and law enforcement are likely to be successful because traffickers often move victims across borders or through hidden networks. If officers are properly trained, they can identify suspicious travel documents, protect victims, and arrest traffickers before more people are exploited. Our next action is the government can educate the public through media campaigns, school programs, and community meetings about the dangers and signs of human trafficking. Our explanation: public education is likely to be successful because many victims are tricked by false job offers, promises of money, or offers to travel. If citizens understand the warning signs of trafficking, they are less likely to be deceived and more likely to report suspicious behavior to the authorities. Our next question. Identify two institutions or official posts that form part of the structure of the judiciary in the Caribbean. Our answer is the Magistrates Court as well as the High Court or Supreme Court. Next one, describe one role of the judiciary in the Caribbean. One role of the judiciary is to interpret and apply the law. This means that judges and magistrates listen to cases, examine evidence, and decide whether laws have been broken. They also make decisions in disputes between citizens, businesses, and the state. Next question. Outline one advantage of the first-past-the-post electoral system compared to the proportional representation system. We have one advantage of the first-past-the-post system is that it is simple and easy for voters to understand. The candidate who receives the most votes in a constituency wins the seat. This allows election results to be counted quickly and usually creates a clear link between voters and their selected representative. Our next question. The newly elected Prime Minister has promised to implement strategies to improve the quality of life of citizens. Suggest two actions that the government may take to ensure the needs of citizens are met, and explain why each one is successful. Okay, so we have the first action. The government can conduct regular consultations, surveys, and community meetings to find out the needs of citizens. The explanation for this is Consultations and surveys are likely to be successful because they allow citizens to express their concerns directly. When the government listens to the citizens, to the people, it can identify the most urgent problems, such as crime, unemployment, poor roads, or lack of medical care, and better make decisions. Our next action is the government can improve public services such as healthcare, education, transportation, housing, and social assistance. The explanation is that improving public services is likely to be successful because citizens depend on these services for their health or health of quality life. Better healthcare, schools, roads, housing, and welfare programs help people meet their basic needs and improve their standards of living. Now we had sustainable development and use of resources. Our next question in this section is to define the term population distribution. We have population distribution refers to the way people are spread out over an area, country, or region. Some areas may be densely populated while others may have a few people. Next question. State the type of map that is used to show population distribution. We have a dot map may be used. B. Explain how each of the following factors might influence population distribution. We have physical features of the land and the presence of good infrastructure. So for the physical features, we have physical features of the land can influence where people live because people usually prefer areas that are flat, fertile, and easy to build on. For example, coastal plains and valleys often have more people because they are suitable for farming, housing, roads, and businesses. Next one. Describe how the presence of good infrastructure might influence population distribution. Good infrastructure attracts people because it makes life easier and creates opportunities. Areas with good roads, electricity, water supply, internet, schools, hospitals, transportation, and are more likely to have larger populations. Next question. Suggest 2 actions that the government may take to reduce the number of persons who migrate from rural areas into the city. The government can create employment opportunities in rural areas by supporting agriculture, small businesses, agro-processing, and community tourism. The explanation is that creating employment opportunities in rural areas is likely to be successful because many people move to cities in search of jobs and income. If rural residents can earn a living in their own communities, they may not feel the need to migrate to urban areas. Our next action is that the government can improve rural infrastructure and services such as roads, schools, health centers, water supply, internet, and public transport. Explanation. Improving rural infrastructure and services is likely to be successful because people often leave rural areas to access better education, healthcare, transport, and technology. If these services are improved, rural communities will become more comfortable and attractive places to live. Okay, our next question now. Okay, we have some map skills, so study the guide below and then answer the questions that follow. We have to state the name of the region, circle that here, that is this region here, it is the answer is Caribbean region. Then identify the compass direction, which by the map, which by the arrow P, it is pointing west. State the name of the line of latitude at 23.5 degrees north, this one here. That is the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, our next question is define the term natural hazard. So we have a natural hazard is a natural event or process that has the potential to cause harm, damage, or loss of life. Examples include hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, volcanic eruptions, droughts, and landslides. Our next question is identify one natural hazard caused neither by weather nor climate that can affect the Caribbean. We have one natural hazard not caused by weather or climate is an earthquake. Next is to suggest 2 ways in which social media could be used to help the citizens of the Caribbean to be better prepared for natural hazards, as well as to explain why each one is successful. We have social media can be used to share early warnings, evacuation notices, and emergency updates before and during the natural hazards. Sharing early warnings and emergency updates on social media is likely to be successful because many citizens use platforms such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and TikTok every day. Information can spread quickly, allowing people to evacuate, stock up on supplies, and protect their families before a disaster becomes worse. Our next way is that social media can be used to educate citizens by posting videos, infographics, and checklists on how to prepare an emergency kit and secure their homes. Posting educational videos, infographics, and checklists is likely to be successful because people can easily understand and share visual information. Citizens can learn what to put in emergency kits, how to store water, where to go during evacuation, and how to protect important documents. This helps them prepare before hazards occur. Now we're moving into the next section of the paper, the essay section. And number 5 is individual, family, and society. So as a young cultural ambassador, you have been asked to write an article for the local newspaper. Prepare an article on the topic above. First question is to state 2 cultural forms which are present in the Caribbean. Our introduction is the Caribbean is one of the most culturally diverse regions in the world. Its people have different ethnic backgrounds, religions, bodies, music, languages, festivals, and traditions. This diversity is one of the region's greatest strengths because it helps to create a rich and unique Caribbean identity. 2 cultural forms which are present in the Caribbean are music and festivals. Caribbean music includes calypso, soca, reggae, dancehall, chutney, steel pan, folk music. These musical forms reflect the history, creativity, and experiences of Caribbean people. Notice what we did for this paragraph is we listed our topic sentence first by telling the reader what our 2 forms of culture are. Then we first spoke about the very first one, which is the music. We give examples of music. And then we said how music is related to the culture or what it reflects. Next part of the paragraph is festivals are also important cultural forms. Events such as Carnival, Diwali, Emancipation celebrations, Eid, Christmas, and Crop Over show the different traditions and beliefs found throughout the region. So we listed examples of both of them. Examples are very important in the exam. Our next question is explain 2 reasons for the cultural diversity which exists within the Caribbean region. For this one, we have one reason for the cultural diversity of the Caribbean is migration. Over time, people came to the Caribbean from Africa, Europe, India, China, and the Middle East and other parts of the world. Some came through slavery, indentureship trade, or modern migration. These groups brought their own foods, religions, music, clothing, languages, and customs, which mixed with other traditions to create Caribbean culture. Another reason for cultural diversity is colonization. Different European countries such as Britain, France, Spain, and the Netherlands colonized Caribbean territories. As a result, Caribbean countries developed different languages, legal systems, religions, architecture, and customs. For example, some territories speak English, Spanish, French, or Dutch, while others use Creole languages. Next question. Explain 2 reasons for the cultural, we just did that one. Next one is to outline 1 benefit of cultural diversity in the Caribbean. For this, we have one benefit of cultural diversity in the Caribbean is that it promotes tourism and economic activity. Visitors are attracted to Caribbean festivals, music, food, historical sites, and cultural celebrations. This creates jobs for hotel workers, taxi drivers, tour guides, entertainers, craft videos, and small business owners. Next question is to suggest 3 actions that community groups may take to recognize the cultural diversity of the Caribbean. For this, we have community groups may take several actions to recognize the cultural diversity of the Caribbean people. Firstly, they can organize cultural festivals and heritage days where different groups display their food, music, clothing, dances, and religious traditions. Secondly, they can create educational programs and workshops of schools and communities to teach young people about the history and traditions of different ethnic groups. Thirdly, they can use social media and local media to highlight cultural events, interview elders, and promote respect for different cultures. Next question is to explain how any 2 of those actions are likely to be successful. So we have cultural festivals and heritage days are likely to be successful because they allow people to experience different cultures in an enjoyable way. When citizens taste different foods, listen to different music, and see different traditional clothing, they become more aware of the value of each group's contribution to society. Educational programs are also likely to be successful because they teach young people respect and tolerance from an early age. If students understand the history of different groups, they are less likely to discriminate against them. This can help reduce prejudice and strengthen unity in the Caribbean. Now, our conclusion is, in conclusion, cultural diversity is an important part of Caribbean life. It exists because of migration, colonization, and the mixing of different groups over time. By celebrating and respecting cultural diversity, Caribbean people can build stronger communities and preserve their unique culture. Alright, our next question is last question of the paper. Question 6. Sustainable development. As the president of the school's environmental club, you are asked to address the Parent-Teacher Association on the topic above. Write a speech in which you do all of these things. First, identify the term sustainable development. So we have good morning, members of the members of the Parent-Teacher Association, teachers, parents, and students. Today we will speak on the topic protecting the environment for the present and future generations. This topic is important because the environment provides the resources we need for food, water, shelter, and economic activity and economic development. We have to define sustainable development. So sustainable development refers to development that meets the needs of people today without preserving or preventing future generations from meeting their own needs. It involves using resources wisely so that the environment is protected while people are still able to improve their standard of living. Next question. Identify 2 natural resources other than agricultural lands that need to be preserved. 2 natural resources other than agricultural lands that need to be preserved are forests and water resources. Forests are important because they provide habitats for animals, protect soil, reduce flooding, and absorb carbon dioxide. Water resources such as rivers, lakes, streams, and undergoing water are also important because people need clean water for drinking, cooking, farming, and sanitation and industry. Farmers can help to conserve cultural lands. Okay, let me see that one out. Explain 2 ways in which farmers might help to conserve cultural lands. Farmers can help to conserve agricultural lands in several ways. One way is by using contour plowing or terracing on slopes. This reduces soil erosion because it slows down the flow of water and prevents topsoil from being washed away. Another way is by using crop rotation and organic fertilizer. Crop rotation helps maintain the soil fertility, while organic fertilizers such as compost and manure add nutrition into the soil without damaging it with excessive chemicals. Then it suggests 3 actions that the government might take to reduce the cause of climate change. Governments may take several actions to reduce the causes of climate change. One action is to promote renewable energy, such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. This reduces the burning of fossil fuels, which release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. A second action is to encourage reforestation and protect forests. Trees absorb carbon dioxide. A second action is to encourage reforestation and protect forests. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, provide shade, and help regulate the climate. A third action is to improve public transportation and encourage energy conservation. This can reduce the number of private vehicles on the road and lower the amount of fuel being burned. Next question suggests 3 ways that a government might take to reduce the causes of climate change. We just did that. Explain why any 2 of the actions are likely to be successful. Promoting renewable energy is likely to be successful because it directly reduces dependence on oil, gas, and coal. When homes, schools, businesses, and governments buildings use solar or wind energy, fewer greenhouse gases are released. This helps slow global warming and makes a country more environmentally friendly. Reforestation and forest protection are also likely to be successful because trees naturally remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Forests also protect watersheds, reduce flooding, and provide habitats for wildlife. If governments plant more trees and prevent illegal logging, the environment will be better protected for both present and future generations. In conclusion, protecting the environment is everyone's responsibility. Samantha Sustainable development allows us to use resources wisely while preserving them for future generations. If governments, farmers, and citizens work together, the Caribbean can reduce environmental damage and build a safer, healthier future. And that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching.